Hello, everybody. It's your boy, The Cho, Corey Ryan Forster here, wellreadcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com. That is where you can find out where we are going to be on our 2020 tour. And speaking of which, I should have it pulled up here. Here we go. March 12th to the 14th, Raleigh, North Carolina. March 27th, New Orleans. April 2nd to the 4th, Indianapolis, Indiana. April 16th to the 19th, Washington, D.C. April 25th, we're back in Atlanta, Georgia. May 8th, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Fuck, I need to buy tickets. May 9th, Seattle, Washington. June 20th, we're going to be a part of the Minneapolis Comedy Festival with Bert Kreischer, Whitney Cummings, Nick Offerman, and Jeff fucking Foxworthy, one of our heroes, along with many others. But Jesus Christ, Jeff Foxworthy, I cannot wait, man. So grab tickets at wellreadcomedy.com. You can also check out our merch store, grab some sweet t-shirts and hats, and our book, The Liberal Redneck Manifesto, and our album, Well Read, live from Lexington. This week on the podcast, we were joined by the very funny Caitlyn Weierhauser. Caitlyn is a very funny comedian. You have seen them on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and also in the movie Timmy Failure, where they play Flo, which is streaming on Disney Plus right now. We talked about a lot of things, including being a horse girl in Oregon, and also being a loan shark and stealing from predatory lenders. So listen up. Skew.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
Well, here we are, everybody. Me and Drew are in studio. Corey's with us live from Georgia. Joined today, we are fortunate to be by the illustrious Caitlyn Weierhauser.
Weierhauser?
Damn it, I knew I was gonna get
Weierhauser,
it
like
wrong.
werewolf.
And
That's
like
why you dress
werewolf.
like that. You're a warehouser.
How dare you?
Weierhauser.
First of all, talk more shit. I will steal your wife.
I know you will. I think you know how we were talking before about RuPaul scaring Jimmy Fallon. We'll tell that story briefly. I think I just did it to Trey. Maybe he didn't know like how close we were, and maybe not. But you looked at me like, why the fuck would you insult her outfit immediately?
No, I was to make sure I understood what you mean. You mean
Yikes.
I don't know,
she
a warehouser.
turns into a roofer in the moonlight?
Yeah, she's a warehouser.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah, a lot of where things where you're from, I would imagine. It seems like a place. You're from rural Oregon.
Very rural.
Seems like there's things that turn into animals there. And stuff
I was
like
raised
that.
with 2 color wolves.
When you say with, that's a preposition. We'll talk about pronouns later. I want to talk about prepositions right now. What do you mean with?
2 color wolves. I grew up in a family with 2 red wolves, and then my mom died, and my dad thought it'd be real good for us to have a hobby or like an activity, so he bought us a wolf puppy each.
I'm sorry, your mom died. Here's a wolf.
Oh yeah, I was 6. It was difficult. I was in the car. It's bad. My dad got us each a gray wolf puppy, and he was like, "There you go."
Ned Stark shit
Absolutely.
I was about to say, you will raise it yourself, you will feed it yourself, and when it dies, you will bury it yourself.
Yeah. And I did.
What was yours called?
Gracie. I named her after my grandma.
Well, that's cute.
She died in a house fire.
Your grandma or your...
There is nothing that's not tragic about my family. Dig in, I dare you.
Well, okay, so you said we had 2 red wolves.
Yeah, those are the ones I got raised up with. I got pictures of me learning how to walk by grabbing on the wolf back and like pulling myself up. They were my little toddler walkers.
God damn.
Literally raised by wolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
With wolves.
By.
Well, right. Yeah, you got to get your prepositions right.
She and the wolves were raised by the wolf man.
The other wolves.
Right.
Also, my brother got to name our little baby wolf. They got born, the only one that we could keep out of the litter, and he named that wolf Big Bird.
All right.
Because he was 7.
Yeah.
And that wolf just got named Big Bird for all of our life.
Was it a red wolf or
Yeah.
yellow? Okay, it wasn't even.
That's not a yellow wolf. It's
Yellow
not a real
wolf.
thing.
There's like
Was it
very
a
light
yellow wolf?
wolves.
That's a fox. That ain't a wolf.
Well, there's a rapper named Yellow Wolf.
That's true.
How do you know about that?
He's
That's
a
Matt
white
Mitchell's
trash.
cousin.
he's like
Yeah.
the biggest
Yeah.
white trash rapper there is, other than Eminem.
And
Ugh.
we white trash. up in here.
For the
What
record,
do you know about that?
Yellow Wolf was
This
almost.
is how we met.
Yeah,
Being
Yellow
just
Wolf.
white trash stuff.
I
A
think
Yellow
we-
Wolf concert. Doing meth outside a Yellow Wolf concert.
We were on a show, and I think we just overheard each other's like redneckery. We're like,
Mhm.
"You're white trash. I'm white trash."
I think
that's
you were
how we
just
met.
hitting on my wife.
Yeah,
which you
probably
kind of
that.
were. But I was like, you were just talking to us both, and you were like, yeah, no, I'm also from like the middle, and I was like, oh, it's not what this usually is when I
Absolutely.
see a beautiful woman hanging out with my wife with that haircut,
Aw.
and
Aggressive haircut.
yeah, we just white trashed it up.
If you can't see Caitlyn, she does have a fairly aggressive haircut.
I cut it myself. Thank you very
Are
much.
you serious?
No, really?
Yeah.
I
It looks
rewatched
great.
your
Thank you.
Colbert this
Thank you.
morning.
I could never.
That's the only prep I did.
You
by the
can.
way.
Believe in yourself. You can do it. I'll teach you.
All right.
Is that the
That'd be
haircut when you went on Colbert? I rewatched it this
Yeah.
morning. It's the only prep I did for this interview. I was like, well, I know her, but let me just make sure there's nothing I forgot or whatever. and I was literally my second thought on the rewatch was, God, her hair looks fucking great.
I went professionally to get a fade for TV.
Oh, okay.
You know
okay,
what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
That's like,
But the coif, is that the
Yeah.
right word? Do you
Yeah.
style that yourself, or do you just have a natural oil thing?
no,
Like,
I just the higher the hair, the closer to Jesus. And we know the rules.
we don't know the rules, but Trey and I don't use shampoo hardly ever anymore.
Yeah.
And it's turned his hair into just this most luscious LA thing.
I know. Look at this.
Well, right
Yeah.
now, it looks terrible.
I took a very haphazard shower and was running late on my way over here, so it's probably not hitting right now.
I played
but
basketball
I can
and
do it.
didn't bathe.
Yeah, I know. But you also got a dirty ass T-shirt out of your trunk.
I was like, she was like, did you just come from basketball when we walked up? And I was like, yeah.
Because he looks
I-
like it.
I changed shirts, though. Don't worry about
He
it.
kind of always looks like that.
And then I go, well, but this shirt was the shirt I wore last week to play basketball.
It was also residing in the trunk of my car.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Cleanliness, godliness. Go on.
Wolves.
you grew up from birth to adulthood
Birth till
in
10.
the middle of nowhere. in
Birth till 10 in Douglas County in
Oregon.
Umpqua. Yeah, right on the Umpqua River, out in the middle of goddamn nowhere,
I
out
love-
in literal woods.
I love that a common rural thing is when you say the county.
County.
That's,
We were in
that's not just
unincorporated
south,
town.
That's everywhere.
What,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was after 10?
We moved to Pleasant Hill, which is like kind of a rural suburb outside of Eugene, like 15 miles outside Eugene. So I went to what was in comparison like a big school in
Yeah.
comparison to where I grew up. But we also got to bring one of the wolves and my horse. And as I was going into 4th grade, I found out about horse girls.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I thought, ooh, you have to understand how much I thought I was going to hit
Yeah.
with horse girls, because I was like, oh, they have no idea.
Yeah.
I got a literal horse at home.
Yeah.
And then they did nothing but talk shit and make fun of me because I smelled like horse.
Well, they ain't really about
Every day.
that life then.
They're not. They're
No,
fakers.
yeah.
It's like
Fucking posers.
that's what you have in Oregon instead of like fake goth chicks.
Yeah,
Who
it's
like
fake
who don't
ass
actually
horse
cut themselves or
girls.
like Marilyn Manson. They just love Hot Topic. You got fake horse girls.
Yeah. My Little Pony ass shits. They're very judgmental, and I do not like them. No, they would make fun of me because I would smell like horse feed and horse shit on the way to school. But I'm like, I just literally fed my horse.
Right.
Do
That's
you
what
want to
happens.
talk?
Yeah.
And they're like, never.
I've put together horse girls in my head through context clues, but please explain to me what the fuck that is.
They would just play a
Especially
lot
in
of.
junior high.
They would just play, yeah, in elementary and junior high, they would just play a lot in the field, and they would just like gallop around like horses. It was like pre-furry. It was just like pre-furry before furry was a thing.
I thought you meant a different thing.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
What
Me
did
too.
you think?
Well, I think you're either fucking with us completely and it's hilarious,
No, this is
or you do mean what I thought. They just also played as if they were horses.
Yeah, and they just wanted
Okay,
horses.
horse girls they're like they wear jackets with horses emblazoned on the back of them. They
Hell yeah.
always have like, tassels on said jackets. They have like little tchotchkes, little thing, that of horses all over everything. Like if they got an office,
Their
shit is
bedrooms
filled with
were
horse shit.
adorned
There's
with
a
horse
velvet horse painting
posters.
in their bedrooms.
There's a
Horse
reason for
shit
that.
everywhere. Okay, but
In my opinion.
I didn't know they like pretended to be
Also, they're
horses,
bitchy as hell.
and apparently they're total bitches.
We've talked about this on this podcast.
I don't know if you can say it, but I can say it.
Too late.
Horses are sexy.
Are they?
They're so fucking hot.
They're not.
They're
They
so-
shit bigger than your head. They're
Well,
not
God
sexy.
damn it.
So
Here
does
we go
everyone
again
you've
with Drew's
ever
fucking
fucked in
bullshit
your
about
whole life.
horses.
Wait, sorry, Corey. What?
What?
You again with the wanting to fuck horses.
That's the thing.
I don't think I want to fuck horses. I think I want to watch horses fuck.
Oh boy.
But listen, you
That's
said they
worse.
take a giant
That's so
shit.
much worse.
Every person you've ever fucked, Caitlyn, takes giant shits.
Not the size of your goddamn head, and you have to shovel it out of their fucking stall
You're
or
fucking
whatever.
the wrong people. I
Also,
think.
it's a horse. Like, the poop don't got to factor into it.
Listen, you guys
It's
can
a
argue with me
horse.
all you want. All right, I'm not saying I want to fuck a horse. Like, okay, that's funny. Yeah, we're a comedy podcast, but literally, girls are obsessed with them. They put them on the cover of every single romance novel. They're
Yeah.
handsome.
You
They're on
imagine
shampoo
my heartbreak
commercials.
for having an actual horse and being like, I'm gonna be the most popular bitch in this school.
That's why you thought that, because everybody was into horses. That's why girls are into them. You know the reality. You
Yeah.
had to live with the horses.
Exactly, feeding them alfalfa every day.
Exactly.
I know what it
all
smells
right, let me
like.
say, the idea of a horse is sexy,
Yeah,
and they're handsome.
All right.
right up to the line.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know about that. Yeah, I just don't. You know, I don't see it. Yeah, apparently, it's just me.
You and me
This
both.
is- okay, yeah, but
I mean, I liked him when I had him, but I wasn't trying to fuck him.
right, yeah.
I'm not trying to fuck them.
I
Let
don't-
that
it
be on the
sounds like you're
record.
trying to fuck them. I don't.
I'm
I
acknowledging
also
that they
don't
have a
think-
masculine energy that I could see somebody wanting
Okay.
to fuck.
We had a mare. It's a lady horse.
Yeah, they all have
Also-
a masculine energy that I could see somebody wanting to fuck.
I'm not saying.
You're a lady wolf, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
I'm not saying
know
that.
I am.
I'm not saying that that this explains horse girls either. I don't know, but I like the romance novel part of it or whatever. I don't think it's because horses are sexy. I think it's like through all history, like rode horses in romance novels, fucking manly ass
Oh.
men, like night warriors.
Gotcha.
Yes, knights, and then cowboys and shit. Like so, like they're like associated.
They also rode elephants
Yeah.
back in the day, but they don't be putting them on fucking movies and shit.
not as ubiquitously as fucking horses.
That's a very niche romance.
Yeah,
novel.
very.
India,
Tushar probably
India,
has a copy
it has
of that.
like
I know,
the
yeah.
world's second largest
Well-
population. That ain't niche at all, motherfuckers.
That's true.
Riding elephants
That's
in the
true.
battle
I'm
is
now,
a goddamn
I now
thing.
want to ask Tushar if they have elephants on the cover of their romance novels. You're gonna text him? Text him, ask him.
Find
that.
out.
Do you know Tushar Singh? He's an Alabama comic. Lives
No.
in New York. He's a wonderful guy.
I like that.
So you.
Tushar, do they be wanting to fuck
That's not. Anyway. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I grew up with a biological sister who passed away, and then a biological brother who's bigger than me, meaner than me, and taught me how to fight. And then I have two stepsisters.
Okay.
Is that who you fought?
Yeah, mostly.
So is your dad? I don't know anything about your dad at all,
No, my
other
dad is
than
wild.
okay, right.
My
Here's
dad's
the things I know about your
wild.
dad. He lived in the middle of nowhere in Oregon,
Yep.
then moved to slightly less middle of nowhere Oregon. Gave you a wolf for your 6th birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. But I still feel like, in my so. I mean,
Here-
is he like this fucking wild ass mountain man?
No,
type
you know
dude
what's
that-
the craziest part? Okay, two things. One, he grew up in California surfing. He and his brother were real close. He and my uncle were real close in age, and they were like surfer, cool dudes, going to concerts, smoking weed, having a great California time.
Hell yeah.
Surfing every day. They shared a car that kept lighting on fire, which was like an ongoing joke through their like teenage years. And then they got a hold of like some weird hippie stuff. So like a couple of their friends died from drug overdoses, and then they got a hold of Christianity.
A hippie version of it?
Yeah, and then they moved to Oregon to like plot their land
Well,
and
that's
like
when it got
stake their
worse.
claim or whatever. And then so my dad built our house, and then my uncle built his house on like adjoining properties, and they were like, we're cowboys or whatever. So we literally grew up going to rodeos and stuff, which is funny if you remember that they're still surfer dumbass dudes from like
and they acted like that.
full cosplay, full commitment to the bit. Do you
Well,
understand?
did they become that? I mean, at some
Yeah.
point, you know how to rope and ride.
Yeah. And we grew up going to real fundamental Baptist church, evangelical. Oh boy, we went and prophesized
Was
to
that-
the people
Was that after your mom, before, or both?
before she died. When she died, we got out of the church for a number of reasons, but like one of them was
Hating God? No.
yeah, most of that was was that the pastor at the time chose my mom's memorial to take it upon himself to like have like a real come to Jesus, get fire in your britches and brimstone and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And we all thought that was tacky as
Yep,
fuck.
they did that at my papa's. It was so tacky.
I hate
Yeah.
I've seen
How'd
that
your
happen.
papa die?
Emphysema, and he also did drugs
Gotcha.
for years. But it definitely was the right platform. He had the right audience that needed to hear the situation.
Do you know what's
But it
not
was
the
just-
right platform?
Like he did a whole thing. The preacher did a whole thing on like the dangers of meth and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, dude, we know, but Jesus Christ.
That's appropriate, though. Do you know what's not an appropriate
Yeah.
platform? When she's 37 and died freakishly in a car accident, total freak accident. And the pastor was like, no, this is the time.
Was the theme, you just never know when your time's going to come, so
and
you
Jesus
better
got
get
a plan
saved
for you, so you
today?
better get right with God.
Ah.
And then we were
So
like,
Jesus did
we're
do
good.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is a cool way to grow up and deal with grief.
I know.
But yeah, we were in Winnebago for like a year and a half of my childhood, traveling across the country with the church troupe to sell our pastor's sermons on VHS tape.
Whoa.
And guess who bought them? Fucking nobody. We got as far as like South Dakota, and we're like, we're out. This is bullshit. We had to leave. We like abandoned the bandwagon.
When was that?
I was 4 and 5. We spent that year on the road. My little sister got potty trained in Winnebago. And those pictures are cute as fuck. Her learning to use a toilet.
That is super cute.
It's real cute. But yeah, we were part of a whole evangelical group. I joke about how many times I got baptized, and that is 8,000 or 9,000. I loved it. I was obsessed as a kid.
Is that how? Is that a? I don't.
I don't
They'll
know
tell,
that
I'm
one.
very church dumb.
Yeah.
It's like I just grew up
I'm not, but
completely
that one's
absent
new.
that, but I didn't know. I thought that was a one-time deal.
I thought I did too.
Oh, you can just keep going back.
Wait,
And
if
they'll
you
keep
just
doing
like it, if you just keep telling them you want it. Oh yeah, no, that checks out. Like it didn't take. I didn't really believe earlier. My bad.
You
but
get to be
now
the
I
center
do.
of attention. Everybody sings a song. You get to go swimming. You get to wear a swimsuit to church. It's dope. it's fun as hell. So I volunteered every time we did.
Every fucking Sunday, you're just like, I think I
River.
need to feel the spirit
Yeah,
again.
we literally went to River,
Yeah, we did too.
and our pastor cosplayed as John
Yes,
the Baptist.
we did that.
Fucking nerds for Christ, just
The,
cosplaying for
the place
Jesus.
I got baptized is the not the place I lost my virginity. That was my basement, but it's
Very
but it's the
close
place
to
where
my
like I learned how to have sex. Like the place I got baptized is where I would sneak off to have high school sex at.
In the pool.
No, just like on a rock nearby.
okay.
Yeah.
Gross.
You're right.
But so you left the church. How old were you when your mom had her accident?
6.
Fuck, God damn.
I know.
But wait, you said you left the church shortly after that happened,
Yeah, the pastor. We
You
kind of fell
did
out of
and
favor.
never
No, the
went
whole
back?
family. The whole
But
family kind of was like,
including
we're
you.
done. Yeah.
and you never went back.
No, we continued to get raised. Like 3 of us kids, continued to get raised by a lot of the church community. Like they came in and like took care of us and made sure that we stayed with them for a long time. Because my dad lost his ever living mind, rightly so, after his wife died. So yeah, we were kind of like loaned out to church family for a long time, and we just stayed with like our little friend,
did
like
you-
church friends.
Did you still go to church on Sundays because they were going to church?
Yeah, as long as they were going, we were going.
Yeah.
But then, my dad was just like, I don't really
He was lost.
care to. Yeah, he was fully lost. And then we didn't really have to after that. And then he married a crazy lady. It got worse. There's no part that's not dark.
All right.
Well,
Well,
you left eventually. Where'd you go?
yeah. To Elkton and then Drain. And then he met a lady that worked at a doctor's office who was self-prescribing herself goddamn drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Pillbillies.
Mhm.
And he married her because she worked at the doctor's office, and that felt convenient.
Yeah, sounds convenient.
She had 2 daughters, and then we had like a bigger family after that. And then she just was busy with paranoid schizophrenia and a bunch of other mental disorders. And then he stayed married to her for about 6 years. And then that's the second time I lived in a trailer is when that divorce hit.
Mm-hmm.
And she put what's called restraining order
Mm-hmm.
against my dad that also affected us kids. So we had to go live in a goddamn fifth wheel again. But the worst part was it was just down the street from our actual house, which is embarrassing as fuck to get picked up by the school bus
Yeah.
that goes to your actual house and then turns around and comes pick you up 4 doors down at your stupid ratty ass trailer. That's embarrassing as fuck.
Well, all right. I imagine.
Let's talk about nicer things.
Well, I don't know.
Well, all right.
Not what I was about to ask, I don't know about. But
we
I'm
could do-
very curious about it, though. But I don't
What?
know that's going to be nice. Well, like, you got all that shit going on already.
Sure.
You mentioned the issues with the horse girls or whatever, but I'm just wondering, what, like, school and shit was like for you growing up there, and then high school and all that. Was it also terrible, or like
Pretty bad. In my first 3 years of elementary, from 1st to 3rd grade, we were known as them kids whose mom died.
Yeah.
And so they never did anything to us. So we could run wild. We didn't.
Oh,
we
right.
never got in trouble.
Right.
We were literally regarded as those Weierhauser kids. They got wolves. They got a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So we never got in trouble. And then we switched schools, and then it didn't go good. Also, I had trichotillomania from the time I was 6 till about 19, and that is a compulsive disorder where you pull or chew your hair off because you're just dealing with some real fun trauma.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't make a ton of friends.
Uh-huh.
I was a weird kid that pulled out all my eyebrows and the hair on the back of my head until I came out.
When was that?
19.
19?
Yeah.
Were you still up there, or had you gone somewhere
No,
else?
I left.
Where'd you go?
I went to college for like a semester. It didn't take.
Yeah. Where at?
Western Oregon University in
Oh,
Monmouth,
okay. All
Wright
right.
County. Bullshit, garbage town. And then I was like, I'm bi, but I think we all knew that. And then I left and I moved to LA
At 19?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on.
at 20. Yeah.
And started comedy here,
No, I didn't start comedy till I was 30.
and not here. You
I started
live here
in
now,
Portland. Yeah, yeah. I live
Okay.
here now again.
Right? Yeah. So okay, you came here at 20, but didn't start comedy here.
Mm-mm. I moved
Ended
to,
up going back to Portland, and then started up there.
Yeah, I moved to Vegas for 7 years. I lived in Portland for like a year. I lived in San Francisco for 2, and then I moved back to Portland to start comedy.
Okay. Do you feel that it's like a wanderlust type thing? Are you just kind of that person blowing on the the wind, or is it like you just
I don't know.
Grew up selling VHSs out of the back of a
Right.
Winnebago.
Yeah, I'm capable. I'll go wherever I need to go.
Well,
Do you
but
start
it
to
also
reach
could
a-
have been work at some. I guess at some point.
Yeah. Also, I think LA is the greatest city in the world. Like, I don't want to live anywhere else. I'm good.
Okay.
I'll visit New
Did
York
you
as
feel
much
that
as
way
I
at
can.
20?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just like desperate and homeless and living in people's vans and garages.
Really?
Yeah. Stealing from 7-Eleven.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah, fuck them.
I have no idea. I'm going to ask this the broadest way possible. How do you get out of that?
Your brother shows up after a meth-addled career and scoops you up and puts you in Vegas. Help me get to Vegas. And when I got to Vegas, I accidentally became a loan shark at a payday loan place. And then
What?
yeah.
Did you say accidentally?
Did you still have the wolf? Is that why they hired
No,
you?
just oopsie doodle. I got into loan sharking, and they put me in charge of 4 offices, and I was busy being 21.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not surprised what's coming from those places, but
I'm a little surprised. 21?
I
Yeah.
mean, no, it's crazy regardless. But I'm saying,
Yeah,
like,
it's not a good
yeah.
I
industry.
think it paid okay to be in charge of 4.
Stealing pays.
Yeah. Well, I know it paid them very well. I mean, your job. I can't believe they gave that job to a 20-year-old
I
because
know.
I assumed there were 35-year-olds who wanted it.
Oh, yeah. And my boss was like 50, and then he just got like bought out. So, yeah, I was in charge of 4 payday loan stores. And then I got a good union job on the Strip, and I started working at like Hotel Flamingo on the Strip. And then I got into software, and then I did software for a long time, and that got me to Portland, and that got me to San Francisco. And then I rage quit a software career at the age of 30 at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. They hate that. When you're salary and you're like, I'm not showing up tomorrow. I
Yeah.
do not give a shit. My sister died, and so I had a full breakdown, and then moved to Portland and was like, fuck it, let's try comedy.
Is that a thing that you have been like mulling over for a long time, or were you like, did
Not
it
at
just
all.
occur to you one day and you're like, fuck it, why not?
My grief therapist, I had to go to a therapist to try to get my brains back in order after my sister died because I lost my ever-living mind. We got raised real close. We were only like 2 years apart, and we got raised like twins. So when she died, I fully lost it. And I was my parents insisted, my dad insisted that I go see a grief therapist, and I was like, sure, why not? I don't give a shit anymore. And the therapist recommended stand-up comedy, which I felt was wild.
Your grief therapist told you to do comedy. They should be fucking fired.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Her name was Colorado, if that makes any sense.
So we were thinking we'd just add a whole bunch of more grief, and maybe that would cancel out this current grief. Let's give it a try. Roll the dice.
You think you've experienced pain? Try this on.
Maybe it was like a gratitude thing. It's like, you should be grateful for how fine your life is.
I
Go
would
try
just
this.
be weeping. I would just be weeping in session, just talking about family and everybody that's already died.
On stage?
No, in therapy.
Well, she was
and
like,
then
oh, you'll fit in with these people.
she piped up with, have you thought about stand-up? No, bitch, could you stay on topic?
It also is funny because it's like she's saying to
told
you,
everybody else this stuff.
yeah, it's also kind of like she's saying, you're just like, listen, I probably shouldn't say that your problems are hilarious, but like,
You're killing it.
Which
yeah,
hurts.
she's just sitting there the whole time, like, just like, that's terrible.
Oh, a wolf.
That's a wolf. Big bird. Big bird.
Weeping.
The wolf died in a motorcycle accident. Ooh, I bet that was tough.
No, that was my ex.
God damn it.
She only lost a leg. She didn't
I was
die.
just going to say, I think I know the story.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
didn't
no, that
die.
We bought her socks.
She lost a leg, though?
Yeah, she did.
They
She
bought
got
her
her leg
socks,
off. We
Corey.
bought her a
Yeah.
bunch of socks, Corey. Really funny socks. We're like 2 for 1. Bet you set for life.
Did you like stand-up immediately? or-
No.
Also, had it
was
ever?
desperate. It was desperate.
Okay, so it
I
had
hated
never occurred to you before
No.
she said that, and
No.
you were like, "Fuck it, why not?"
Had you done
Yeah.
any MCing?
And
or-
then
Nope.
And you hated it
Yeah.
because it went but poorly the
Well,
first.
yeah,
couple
it's-
times. Yeah, right. No, yeah. I mean,
And not only is your first, like year of stand up, but your first 8,000 instances of stand up are the most desperate, sad, horrible experiences of your life. But when you have nothing else, you have this like, fuck it, why not this? Why not this?
Ugh.
So you like, at least I think I had like the advantage of starting when I was 30 and having some like life experience,
right.
and also having a full
Yeah.
like, I don't give a fuck. I could die tomorrow, and God bless me if I could.
Yeah. Also, like you got
I got nothing
a
to
pretty
lose.
deep well
Yeah.
that you're dipping that bucket into.
Shit to talk about.
Yeah. So okay, how long? What was it? One of those deals where like it just clicked, or was it like gradually? And so at a certain point, you realize like, oh, I'm getting better at this. Like, how
I'm
does
just dumb as fuck, and I approach everything with like a badger-like tenacity, and this was just another thing to fucking nail.
it? Uh-huh.
This was just another thing to accomplish, like to get on top of, and that's how I'd approached every other job that I'd had.
But why didn't you rage quit it like you did the other one once you started?
Because
at
I
some
started hitting.
point? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were hitting it being a software.
It took me
Developer?
yeah. No, implementation. I was
Okay.
like a trainer.
You were doing well at that.
Yeah, they would send me out to client sites to teach
And you sounds like you were a successful loan shark.
people. Yeah, I was pretty good at that.
You were pretty
I
good
was
at
pretty good
raising
at stealing.
wolves and horses and raising horses. I'm saying just getting good at it isn't, to me, the full. I mean, you like it now. You love it. It's what?
Yeah, that's all it became an obsession for 5 years. I tried to date for a little bit when I first started to get into it. When about a year and a half after I lost my sister, I tried to get back into dating, and had like 2 girlfriends.
Needed some more grief.
That's exactly it. Thank you. And I had one girlfriend after another, and I was like, oh, I'm a shit partner. Like, I am not a good girlfriend. And then I stopped dating for 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where is that in your timeline? Are you dating now, or are you saying this is an ongoing
I'm kind
thing?
of, but I'm kind of out of it again now, too. It's
Yeah.
exhausting. It's dumb.
Oh, I'm not.
Y'all are terrible people.
Right. Well, I don't. We've talked. That was on here. A recent episode. We were talking about how like I don't like. I have no envy or jealousy whatsoever for people that are in the dating scene. Like it
Yeah.
like kind of frightens, confuses, and does not at all interest me. You
No,
know, like
imagine-
I don't want nothing
When
to
you
do
see
with
that
it.
trope of like a married guy being like, you don't know how good you got it to a single dude, like obviously the first thing I think is like, well, this is sad. This dude's clearly unhappy. But the second thing I think is, you're stupid. You're so dumb.
Dude, it's the complete opposite for me, man. I got a couple divorce buddies, and like some of my friends like, oh yeah, they're out there finally living the dream and shit. And I'm like, buddy, it does not seem like the dream at all. Like I'm totally fine with not going out and doing all that shit. Like that seems like a fucking nightmare.
It's terrible. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Also, what a fun, exhilarating time to just take your life in your goddamn hands anytime you go and meet a stranger from the internet and be like, I could die today.
No, yeah, right. That's another part of it. Like, I mean, I guess dating is always about, like, by necessity, it's been mostly people who don't at first know each other. But it seems much weirder now to me with the apps and all that shit. It's like I don't know. It's like ordering something off Amazon.
I know what you mean.
It could be anyone.
But it's a person.
I know what you mean about by
Exactly.
necessity. It's almost always been kind of strangers, but I feel like back in the day, it was like when
Yeah.
it was somebody who knew.
Yeah.
Like you would be like, "Oh, Trey, I'm going on a date with that person you told me about," and then if I die that night, you might know who did it. You know what I mean? Like there was some sort of
Yes.
social knowledge,
Yeah,
and
right.
we don't have that.
They
now.
were connected somehow. Somebody
Yeah.
set them up. Your parents knew each other, whatever.
Yeah.
You all go to the same church or whatever. But-
Also, the
We're
idea
like,
of
what
like
did they do?
yeah.
the idea of giving your phone number to like a stranger at a bar is absolutely insane to me. I would rather meet somebody off an app that at least I can like vet. You know what I mean? And test a little bit.
Yeah, at least there's a paper trail.
Exactly. Corey gets it. There's CSI that can track this.
I kind of want to know
Yeah,
a little
like
bit more about the fucking payday loan stuff.
Oh, sure.
Because you know, you're 20 or 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
You're kind of, you know, a bit of a vagabond, sounds like at this time. I don't at all begrudge you getting and taking that job.
It's
but,
a
you know,
bad
those places.
job.
Right, yeah. I mean, I have nothing but disdain for those places. But I'm actually really interested to hear a little bit about the
Also,
internal workings of them.
You should know the house that I moved into blind. When I moved to Vegas, I'd never visited Vegas before.
Yeah.
It was fellow Oregonians, and goddamn it, we do band together.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone's in need, and they're like, Oregonians. Go.
Or fighting the government. You guys band
Yeah,
together
sure.
all
We
the
do.
time.
We do one of two things, and it's a whites only state, Ew. Or it's a BDSM dom and his witch wife, who has 2 ferrets, and that's the house I moved into. And then I got hired at this
Was
loan.
her name Topaz?
No, she was like Moon Cat. Anyway,
Moon cat.
yeah, she was a literal witch though. There was ferrets in the house, which it's the first of 2 times that I've lived with ferrets.
Of course it was.
Fucking hate them.
Yeah.
So I got hired at this Lone Star, and then I have never had a job in my life that I didn't steal from because I've never been punished for stealing before, and I just got better at it. And
Right,
then
so why would
given
you
the
stop?
opportunity
Yeah.
to then be in charge of like an entire financial database, I just got better at stealing, and I got to be friends with my clients, and so I would like swipe their like fees off as best I could, and like work the book. So I got really good at bookkeeping in the wrong way, which I still do bookkeeping to this day.
I would say it the right way. Like
Yeah.
if you're
At that
Yeah,
place.
if you're,
absolutely.
not
Given
paying
the
your friends'
context
fees
of what
down.
you're doing
I
there.
still do bookkeeping today. I'm
Yeah.
real good at it.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like a
picking
side
up what you're
job.
putting down.
Absolutely. I am creative with them books.
Oh, yeah.
I do whatever is needed for a small business. But yeah, I got really good at thieving, stealing, and like working the books over because I became friends with the clients. And then they just kept putting me in charge of the offices as they kept buying them. Because like one company will just like buy out the other, and it's just like constant like process because nobody's ever doing good until like a national brand comes in and then buys you out completely, and that's when I left.
See, that's weird to me because like I just always assumed that they had this business model that was like super easy if you were down with, you know, the grimy aspects of it. I say that because like living in, you know, rural Tennessee during like economic downturns and
Oh,
shit,
sure.
the only fucking businesses that would even stay open were dollar stores and like payday loan places, you know, and like for obvious reasons, but they were like
Yeah.
and there would be a small town and there would be fucking 8 or 9 of those
Different brands of them
and,
too.
you're right, and so it just always made it seem to me like
They're
that's a
making-
thing where like it's a grifty type thing, but like if
Predatory.
it's predatory, but if you don't care about that, you can make easy money doing that if you want to. Is how what I just always assumed, but you're
Yeah.
saying like they weren't really doing very well. They weren't really making much profit for the most part.
I mean, they make hella profit, but you still get just paid an hourly rate, and so you like, I don't know. For me, it was like a very much Robin Hood situation with like, I hate this business model. This is garbage.
For sure.
I see this, and an idealistic 21-year-old being like, no, I'm gonna see if I can break it.
But we thought you were saying
Yeah.
it was hard for the businesses
Yeah.
to stay afloat.
Because you said there
fully, because they keep getting bought out. So we were bought out 3 different times in like 2 years
was
by
just
different,
bigger
yeah,
loan places.
Yep.
Okay.
And every time they bought us out, we would just like surrender the books, and they never looked at them, and they would just absorb all the accounts.
Well, one of the reasons they're so popular in rural areas is a lot of people own land or something, and that's what they take. That's why there's 7 or 8 of them even in economics. I mean, that's not always, or they own their vehicles because you live in a rural
Yeah.
area. So, I mean, my brother lost his
Car title.
truck, his car
Yeah.
title. It was,
I worked in
it
that
was like
too.
a 3 or 4 year old Ranger for like
Oh,
$2,000.
Ugh.
I did
So-
collections for them too.
And
That
we
was-
didn't
Well,
know
right,
the
that's
loan
what I
was
was
out.
dirty.
My dad
Dirty.
That's
would've-
what I was about
Oh,
to
I know. They
ask.
just
Yeah.
stole it. And my dad would have paid it if we had known. We didn't know. And they didn't see. They don't want you to know. Like,
Yeah.
they see that my brother goes to jail or whatever,
They look up your
They
address and they
wait,
come and take
and they
your
wait
GD
till
car.
they're, like, allowed to take. They don't, like, contact your dad so your dad can just be like, I'm just going to pay this $2,000 off and keep the truck.
No, because they're gonna come up.
Yeah.
Do they? Okay. Was there any kind of? Is it literally just like they know the terms when they get this loan, and then if they don't pay it back by the, there's no back and forth that you just collect the collateral at that point?
Yep, and the
No questions
the fees
asked, no.
compound, and it's something like 3,000% interest on a yearly basis, but you work it on a weekly, so it looks like less.
Right.
So every loan that you take out, so you take out like a $200 payday loan, you pay like $20 a week to have that out, plus $20 in fees, plus $20 in interest. So you're paying already $280 just to own $200.
Yeah.
If you pay that back, your next payday, you're still $80 under. Like you're still paying 80. And God forbid you wait till your next paycheck, because that just compounds. Now you're under 160 for
Right.
$200 taken out.
Okay, on one that size, I hope this is at all interesting to people. It's interesting to me. On one that size,
It's bad.
$200. At what point you said, God forbid, you don't pay it to your next payday? I know that the fees are compounding and you're getting underwater fast, but like, at what point do you pull the card, or like, you know what I'm saying?
They don't.
Well, so how do they? What happens when somebody's just like, look, I ain't got it? On a
They
situation
garnish
like
their
that.
wages.
Okay, so they got to go to court for that.
Yep.
Okay,
And they
that's-
have like a lawyer on retainer that
All right.
only does this one thing.
And they take your
Oh
stuff.
no, it's
But that's a
disgusting.
slimy motherfucker.
It
right
absolutely
there.
is. So I would go in and wipe fees out because
Yeah.
I like people.
Good. No, good for you. Totally.
Yeah,
a Robin
if
Hood
thank
thing.
God they didn't look at the books when they would get bought out, because I would have been in literal jail.
Yeah.
This
You ever
is-
been to jail?
No.
Okay.
So, shockingly
I know. I am
I'm
surprised.
very
I am.
surprised.
Listen to me. I am one of 2 of 13 cousins that has not been to jail,
Hell yeah.
and I am one of 2 cousins who's also gay. So me and the only other gay cousin has not been to jail.
The other gay cousin
Yep.
is the other one who
Me-
hasn't been to
yep,
jail.
we are
Okay.
two.
Does he, she, or they have
He.
a cherubic face like you?
Yes, he's
That's
cute
because
as
that's
hell.
what I
It
was
helps
going
a
to say.
lot.
Is that helps a lot.
Helps a lot. Yeah.
Also, gay, we're busy. We can't go to jail.
We've got stuff to do.
We have so much going on. Also, it's a fun thing to hold over the family. It's like, no, we can't come out to grandma, but you know what? I haven't been to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. You tell grandma that I'm part of that community. I'll tell them what
Mm-hmm. Sure,
community
go ahead.
you were
yeah.
in.
And
Yeah.
tell me about
Community
the arrests
service.
you had.
I couldn't remember because I grew up a fucking not knowing shit, poor ass kid too.
Yeah.
Didn't know nothing about none of that stuff. Drugs, tragedy. Can't see you in a dream. Frankly, you're one of the only people I've ever
Actually-
met.
Actually, having wolves was his dream. That was the only thing.
But anyway, it's rare that I meet a person who just so far exceeds my own level of tragic trashness.
Shitbaggery.
Yes, shitbaggery. Yes, but anyway, I remember going to college and not knowing nothing about any of that, and me and my fucking roommates who were all from the same town, we're all fucking trash bags. Wanted a big sweet TV because of course we did,
Hell
and
yeah.
so we went to one of those rent to own places.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing any, and we like did the math, we thought, but we're all number dumb as fuck. We don't know shit. And like, we get this big. It was still like when the big screens were still like projection models. You know what I mean? Big and thick and like not even that sweet.
Did you go to Rent-A-Center?
Super fucking expensive too.
Hell yes,
Yeah,
they were.
right. Well, so it was like a regional chain that
Yeah.
was the equivalent of Rent-A-Center that I can't remember the name of now. But anyway, our payment. We did the math on our monthly payment we were making on this TV that we were splitting amongst the household, and we thought it was a 1-year term, and it was going to end up being like $2,400. And at that time, a TV like that cost about
$1,300.
$1,400. So we were like, well, that's not so bad, right? You know,
seems
because we get to pay it, we get to pay it off in increments. That's okay. So we like agreed and did it, and then 1 year later to the day, me and Thompson walked in there with the last payment, and we were like, yeah, we came to make our final payment to take the ownership of that TV. And they're like, what are you talking about? And they got stuff out and showed us, and they were like, no, it's a 2-year term. We had a whole nother year. So it was going to, if we had continued, and we told them, we're like, come take the motherfucker.
Repo it.
Yeah, we paid $2,400 for a TV that they came and took back. But if we would have paid it all, if we'd have, completed it, it would have cost $4,800 for that fucking TV. And that was the first time in my life that I was ever like, something ain't right about all this shit.
The world is bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then I
The world is bad.
Yeah, I started picking up on that type of shit, I didn't know nothing
Dude,
about
for
money.
$4,800 now, you could have like 10 better TVs in just random rooms of your goddamn house.
Yeah.
Mounted up with those fancy chairs too.
The past fucking sucks.
Well, yeah, it's true.
What about dollar stores, though? I'm kind of all right with dollar stores.
Fuck yeah, Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I live
Dollar
across the
stores
street
hit.
from a Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
You know how fun that is?
Yeah, they're great. Dollar stores are cool.
It's my first stop to see if I can get what I need.
I mean, I'm sure there's
At Dollar
something
Tree first.
nefarious going on with Dollar
Yeah.
General.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think they pay their workers all that much, but like, we all seem to be having a good time there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's like join the club. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Right.
what is paying their? I just mean
Right.
like I mean, I guess this. I don't know if this is their fault or whose fault, but like it is like keeping our people eating fucking Doritos instead.
Yeah,
of,
but it's
Fake.
also like,
Fake Doritos.
but it's also
They're
like,
not even made of corn.
you're
Sometimes-
so right, but it's like, it's fucking food they can afford to buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and
So it's
T-shirts
like,
they can afford to buy.
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
because
right.
you know
Who's got
Asian
t-shirts
child
at
made them.
the
Dollar
General
General,
store?
DG.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
T-shirts.
DG's got
No
clothes
shit.
now.
The
Yeah.
dollar
I mean, that's the
store-
thing about. Oh,
the dollar
sorry,
store
Corey.
is like that. The dollar store is like that one company where, like, when you find out they're not paying their workers anything, you're like, well, okay, yeah, but how could they?
Yeah. Where's the profit
Like
coming
with
from?
Walmart, you're like, this is bullshit. Y'all sell regular stuff. Y'all are greedy as shit. But with the dollar store, it's like, man, I can't believe they're not just fucking volunteer firemen going in there running around.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I have to assume because there's so many of them that they're making mad money.
Fuck yeah, they teach Dollar General's business model and strategy as like a case study in business school.
Well,
Or at least
yeah.
when I went to
Walmart-
business school, and
Bragga.
Walmart,
He's a
yeah.
and
fucking
they
lofty
taught us
college
that-
boy.
Yeah.
Walmart
At a
has tried to
fucking
buy 'em
Cal
out.
Fancy ass
college.
college.
No. I got a business degree from a fucking Cal College in Cookville, Tennessee.
My dad
Go
lived
Golden Eagles.
Tennessee Tech's a Cal College.
No,
UT Martin's a
no,
Cal
UT Martin's
College.
a Cal College.
You know about UT Martin's Cal
Tennessee Tech's a
College?
good
Not
school.
at
They got
all.
cows with holes in them, literally, so you can see
Yeah,
in
man,
there.
don't hit.
See how
Here we
it
go with
works.
this again.
the cross
It's
section.
either fucking horses
hell.
or cows with holes in them.
I don't want to fuck the
I
cows.
know.
They ain't sexy at all.
Too many holes.
The Oreo cows, they're pretty sexy.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're white in the middle. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about?
Dollar General.
Dollar General.
They make,
Oh,
they make a
Walmart's tried to
shitload of
buy 'em
money.
up,
They're
a
based
bunch,
in Nashville.
To get rid of them.
Yeah, they're super successful.
Yeah.
They could definitely pay people more. Maybe about to have to for too long.
Also, they're
Absolutely.
cool as fuck. It's just watching people steal all day. They're like, no, go on. Take it.
Well, 'cause
I
it's
don't
their
give a
cousin.
fuck.
Day.
It's not my
Dude.
job.
Corey, do you remember that we were we did
I
Zanies
got
right before
shamed
Christmas?
at a Dollar General.
We were in we did Zanies right before Christmas in
Yeah.
Nashville, and Zanies is right beside a Dollar General.
Yeah.
And the condo is right there too, so we always walk to the Dollar General to get whatever we need at the condo. I was in there with Corey, and we wanted mixers for our vodka, and Corey
Sure.
wanted pineapple juice.
Of course
and
we did, because
and we had seen this dude. He has a Dollar General name tag on. He was at the register and said what's up. And we walked in. He not only worked there, but was working there. He was on shift at
the
the
mayor.
time. Right? He
was
but
the
Corey-
general.
Corey's back there. Corey's back there. Yeah, the Dollar General. This was him.
It was one of his
We
lieutenants,
saluted
actually.
him. We saluted him when we came in.
It's a dollar lieutenant.
Yeah. we're back in the juice section, none of which is actually juice.
It's
you know?
not juice.
No, it ain't a drop of juice.
I
in the
love
Dollar
when they
General.
call it nectar. That's my favorite.
nectar. Yeah, yeah.
That's not.
A lawyer came up with that.
That's ambrosia.
But it tastes real good.
A lawyer
Yeah.
was
Hell
looking
yeah.
over the
Real
rules
good.
and was like, "We could call it nectar. There's nothing in here that says we can't
It's
call
not
it
illegal.
nectar.
It's not
definitely
illegal.
nectar."
Yeah. We're staying
That
right there.
pineapple nectar.
Corey's looking at like 2 different shitty pineapple
Sure.
not juices, you know. And that
He's never
dude
seen a
walks by,
pineapple.
and he just walks by, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And Corey's like, "I thought it was pineapple juice." He's like, "I didn't even know we had that shit."
I love to think that there's a part of the store he's never seen before.
Yeah, right. He's like, "I didn't even know we had that shit." It just kept
What
fucking
the
walking.
Christ did you find?
Oh man. This is the type of shit that they'll go after people for in today's day and age. And they now know which Dollar General this is at.
Yeah.
Can we fix that somehow? You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like on like Twitter and stuff, somebody's like, "What the fuck, Wendy's? I found a finger in my chicken nuggets." And they're like, "What time were you there and what location was it?" And it's always because somebody about to get in trouble.
they
If,
come for
if
you?
a
This dude was
single one
hilarious.
of
I
our
ain't trying to get
fans
this guy in
tweets
trouble.
anything about this guy and this location, we will
It's
block
not-
you on all platforms.
Yeah, everybody, be cool. Be cool.
Cancel you.
Don't be a snitch.
Yeah.
He's the literal Dollar General. You got to respect him.
You salute when you see him.
Corey, is that how you it was some version of that, right?
That's word for word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think-
The fuck is that?
What was funny to me is that he said it behind me, and so like I was not expecting to turn around and see
The Dollar General.
You.
An employee.
Yeah, like I was thinking it was just some random person. I turned around, he's got a name tag on. What the fuck is this?
I think you genuinely blew his mind. I don't even think he was shaming you. I think he was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
What'd you find?
Did you bring this in here?"
Yeah, right.
Do you think the No Limit soldiers work for the Dollar General? I feel like they do. That's why their
That's
CD
their
cases
tank,
were,
yeah.
were paper on top.
Yeah.
Boots.
No, I think you're right. I think he
Stupid.
was like, because I mean, in the moment, I was sitting there thinking, I can't fucking believe they actually got pineapple juice in this Dollar General.
They
And
don't.
then he
They
finds-
don't.
And he's like, what the fuck? I didn't even know we had that shit.
Wow.
It's called nectar. It still pretty
Yeah.
tastes good.
Oh, goddamn.
Well, I don't want to just skip over, but I do want to talk about the good parts too.
Literally anything else.
Well, I mean, we can not talk about you specifically. We can just talk about general stuff. But I would like to talk about you got a movie that just premiered that you were in,
It's the craziest thing.
and
It's
you were
the
on Colbert.
craziest
Look her up
thing.
on Colbert, guys.
I was on Colbert. I got cast in a literal Disney movie. It's not animated. They put my whole body in. And I got to play a biker librarian. It was barely acting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I could see it.
You walked in,
I can
and they were
see
like,
it.
"No more auditions."
Literally, they weren't even casting out of Portland. I got called in.
Well, that was their first mistake.
also, you know,
Yeah,
the cool-
no shit. That's where you go for biker librarians.
God damn, Disney,
Yeah,
get
right.
your shit
yeah,
together.
fuck them for casting out of L.A., New York, and London, idiots. Tom McCarthy was the director of the film, and if you know, he's the director of Spotlight and The Station Agent and like a bunch of stuff. He like co-wrote
Fuck,
up.
really?
Yeah,
What is this? What's it called? Are you
it's
allowed
called
to say?
Timmy Failure. Oh yeah, it's out. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I saw that. We got Disney Plus. My wife's one of those Disney weirdos.
Yeah.
She just got back from Disney World, in fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Florida one or
Well,
the
she went there to run a half marathon.
I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw it on your feed.
Yeah, and
As
anyway,
Cinderella.
yeah,
or
Disney
Princess
Plus.
Ass. Yeah.
I've had a 3-year subscription to Disney Plus since 6 months before it came out.
Dope. You got Verizon?
Yes, we do have. Is that how you did that?
That's how I got a year free.
Okay, all
Everyone's
right.
like, "Oh, you got a year free because you were in the movie," and I was like, "Absolutely not. That's not how they do it. I got a year free because I'm on Verizon.
They
I don't give you anything free.
So my boys would probably
Your boys
want to
probably-
check that out. So I'm
Yeah.
going to be on the lookout
real
for
cute.
the biker librarian. We'll keep going. Talk about
it's
it.
about a little kid who has like his own little agency, like detective agency. Like he's his own little. He finds out stuff. Wallace Shawn is in it.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Really?
We
How
had,
dare
I
you.
know.
How
we had
dare
we had a whole conversation on one episode of this podcast where we all accidentally believed that he was
Yes.
dead. And we were talking about how great he is and everything, but we were like, oh
And he's
yeah.
like-
That was why
Rest-
we said he had to be dead, because if he wasn't, we'd fucking see him in more shit because of how good he is.
And so we're like, yeah,
Well-
rest in peace, Wallace Shawn. And of course, people are
Case
they're
in
like,
point.
he's very much alive. And and then we started like seeing
And you
him
know
and
he's
shit
like
again.
smart as fuck.
I mean, I could.
You know
see
he's like
it. I'm not
learned
at all-
and shit.
I'm
He's
not
like
at all.
learned and shit.
I'm not at all surprised by
That is not inconceivable.
Right.
at all.
There it is.
Learned is such a great adjective. I've never learned it. I don't know what that word is.
I don't know. I didn't go to college.
Yeah. Yes.
Yo,
did.
went to
It's an
college.
adjective.
Fuck you.
Yeah. It's an adjective.
It's an
I
adjective.
was right. It's my hesitation. that was-
Wallace Shawn and Craig Robinson are in it, and that was fun as hell because I'd worked with Craig a couple times before, just stand-up stuff.
Stand up. Yeah.
And he roasted me the entire time we were filming. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. But yeah, I got to film.
How much? Like how many?
I'm in like 3 scenes.
Right on.
He's like the like guiding counselor of the school. He's got a big part. But we were in one scene together, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, he roasted me.
Have you acted otherwise?
No, this
Okay.
is literally my first acting job
All right.
from the last time that I dropped out of high school theater.
Do you did you have that sense of like someone is about to come up to me at any minute and tell me that they made a terrible mistake?
Oh, every second that I was
Yeah,
there.
right,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know if you would because you've done that. Like you've been
No.
in multiple
No.
positions that would make a person feel that way. I think the way like
That's
from
my
talking
whole
to-
life
you're right,
thing,
Yeah,
is that
you're
any
looking
points-
around like, do they not know
Someone's
that I
gonna come
shouldn't
get
be
me.
doing? Yeah, right. Yeah, someone's gonna come get me. But no, I know, like because I've heard older actors talk about that and say like whatever.
Yeah,
that
no, I
it's
thought I
like
was going to get thrown off set. I fucked up so
Right.
much. Every single day on set, I messed up in some kind of way. Do you know you're not supposed to look at the camera? We found out that together. Do you know that they get real mad if you walk into a camera, that they moved behind you? Do you know what the fuck was there when you turn around and you just walk into it? That's expensive. Do you know what is real fun is getting roasted by your 11-year-old coworkers?
That's
For not
hilarious.
knowing how to act.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
they're
all they
vicious.
got, yeah.
And they're so little. You're like,
Yeah.
I'll throw you out a window.
I
Fuck
will
you.
punt
You're
your
so
little
little.
Disney ass. Yeah.
Their
I'll-
mom's right there.
yeah,
You're
I'll
like,
get
no,
you-
this is just between me and Chloe.
Yeah, I'll fucking kill you and save you from getting Weinstein, you little shit. Probably shouldn't have went that far. I just worry about those Disney kids. Like they sound annoying,
dude.
but I also worry
They
about
were
them.
cool though. Honestly, them Disney kids are pretty cool.
Yeah, they've seen some
They're very
shit.
funny. That not that dark kind of way in like the 90s anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay.
These are new brand. There's a new generation of Disney kids. They're all like very well adjusted. They all like they know they know stuff. They will run up and be like, "You got games on your phone?"
Oh yeah, that's the
cute.
Like,
official
where's
greeting
yours?
of every
Where's
child.
yours?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Be like, "I'm grounded."
They took my phone from me.
Exactly.
This is bullshit.
You got games on yours? Let me log into my Instagram really quick. God damn it.
That's what they do to punish them now is take their phones. We don't want to talk
Yeah.
about what they did in the
It
90s.
lo-
So,
exactly.
do you think, in stand-up, there's a little bit of that still for me. Like a show I've never been on I want to do well, or a comic's there that I want to impress or whatever.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to bomb.
Yeah.
So you were talking about like actors, they say that kind of never goes away, right?
Not
No.
all of them. I've heard some say that, oh yeah, you get over it. I've heard other ones say that they still feel that way all the time.
Well, I'm
Are y'all
mostly,
doing
I don't
any
think-
acting?
I'm
Are any three of
mostly
y'all-
over it.
What?
Are any 3 of y'all doing any acting?
I did I did a small part in 2 episodes of Veronica Mars when they brought it back.
Hell yeah,
on
not
Hulu.
NCIS.
And it was no, not NCIS. No, they went with a more street ratty approach to that.
Dope
I know.
though.
Yeah,
Veronica
right.
Mars, that's
But
bangers.
but
Did you act before?
No,
Yeah.
not like. No, not
like that.
professionally or whatever
Yeah.
at all. In our sketches that we wrote, or like
Yeah.
when we would do like my own shit. So
Yeah.
discounting that, no. And I felt like the whole time I was like,
There should be a tutorial.
yeah, right.
Andy's
Someone should come and teach you how to be here, and
Yeah.
no one does.
The whole time I'm feeling
Fucking
like
Christ.
not only like, oh, they all know, but I'm also like you said, I don't know how to exist here now.
I don't know where to
where
put my
should-
body
right,
at
yeah.
any point in time.
It's like, I don't know what to do with my hands except it's your whole body. It's like, is it okay if I stand in this corner for the next 4 hours until you do? Because that's fine with me if it's fine with you. Like, just not having a fucking clue what to do.
Nope.
My own wife didn't cast me in her award-winning short film, so I would say I don't do
Well, I
a lot
mean,
of acting.
She's pretty.
She was the
She's
right
pretty
move.
big.
That guy was great.
I've done a couple lengthy scenes in some like very, very indie films, and every time I would get through with my lines and they would be like, oh my god, that was terrific, my first thought was like, well,
That's
this
dumb.
movie's gonna fucking suck.
Tom McCarthy coming to you and being like, "Hey, let's just let's like ground that line," and then walks away, and then you have to be like, "Hey, psst, psst, get the fuck back here.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah,
does that
right.
mean?
I have no idea
But there-
what that means.
Even if they're like, I'm sure there's dickhead.
Did you actually
directors.
ask her? Were you,
Absolutely.
Or were you just like,
No,
yeah,
I-
sure, okay.
I'm
got
No,
it.
sure
I
there's
tried to pretend once and I got in
Yeah,
trouble. And I was like, no,
right.
get the fuck back here and
Right.
explain to me.
There's like
What
David O.
you
Russell
mean.
yelling at
Yeah.
legends, and so I know there's dickhead directors,
No.
but I'm sure there's directors who appreciate you being like, I don't know what you mean, so I'm not going to waste more of
Oh,
your
yeah,
time
he thought it
pretending
was-
to on
yeah,
this fucking tape.
Exactly. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what any of these things mean. At one point, I was like, explain it to me like I'm a child. I'll take that back immediately. All these children are professionals, and they've been in 3 movies and 14 commercials and 18 shows. Explain it to me like, I'm an
dumb
idiot.
child. A dumb
And he was
child.
so patient. He was so nice and so good to me. That was very, very nice. Yeah.
And the day it premiered, you said it was okay to ask you about
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this is hilarious. This is Hollywood. This is you.
How's LA going?
This is how is LA going? The day the movie premiered, what news did you get?
I walked the red carpet, and then I got qualified for food stamps.
Oh my god.
Guess which one I
Word.
celebrated?
Hell yeah.
And-
Celebrate with what? With some pizza rolls? Or what are we talking about here?
No, I still have to go through the whole process, get my goddamn card, but I was like, woo!
Do you think the movie will fuck with that?
No.
Yeah.
That
And if
mo-
anyone's
that
out there
money's
listening,
gone.
you know,
Yeah,
right.
Been gone.
Been gone.
Wait.
You don't get streaming money.
Right.
You get filming
There's no
money.
streaming money anymore.
Yeah.
So if anybody's out there listening, and this is how everybody back home is, how's Hollywood going? And they either think you're an idiot and you're never going to make it, or
yeah,
they
or
see
this
you on
money
TV,
is like infinite, and
or
it
they
ain't,
see you on TV one time,
Yeah.
and now you're rich,
which
Right.
is
to them,
insane.
right.
which is just not the case.
Yeah, it doesn't. You get money for going on, like late show, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they pay for like the flight, and then that money covers your week that you spend in New York.
Yeah. Right.
Because you're going to spend a week in New York. I mean, what are you going to do? They pay for your flights. You
Yeah.
just stay extra.
You could eat dollar pizza, but then you'd have a bad set. So by the time you eat a decent fucking meal 5 nights in a row, all the
didn't
money's
eat
gone. And of course you didn't. You're trash. You spent yours on drugs. We won't
Exactly.
talk about that though.
Hey, hush your mouth.
You
went to a
you
lot of
are,
drag
you are
shows.
my Republican uncle's fucking worst nightmare. She's
Yeah.
out there on food stamps,
Yeah.
spending her real money on
On
drugs and
drugs.
drag shows.
It really was.
Those wolves didn't do their goddamn job properly.
Hell's Kitchen is an amazing place.
That's what I tell you about these Bernie supporting queers, Drew. Come in here, sit down. I gotta.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
wouldn't
it's almost over. So
Good.
I think she
Sorry.
means in life, but that's almost over too.
No, this is almost over.
now, what do you got to plug? What do you got for us? Well, how can people find you? Whatever you got.
At Uncle Kate across all platforms.
Hell yeah.
CAIT. for the- for the-
CAIT. I'll be around Washington the 1st through the 7th of March, doing every single brewery that Washington has to offer. I'll be in Boise and Austin in August.
Go
Hell yeah.
see her, y'all.
Oh, yeah. The wonderful Caitlyn Weierhauser.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I fucking bumbled through it.
Sorry,
still, but
We have a lot
so
of-
much about sad ass.
Oh,
no,
trauma
that's we do
We
that.
we have a lot of
No, it's
mutual
not quite
friends,
very
and
good.
I've never said your name right when bringing you up, but now I think I'll get it because
You don't
Because
say
like werewolf.
you dress like a warehouser.
Yeah, a warehouser. A wareframer. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Caitlyn. Bye.
Thank you.
Love you. Skew.
Thank you all for listening to the Well Read Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.